John Griffin Donlan, but a lot of people call me Dr.Leisure. I like to make these short videos on topics like food, beverage, travel, fashion, crafts, culture. I like to make these short videos and I hope that you like watching them. But if you don't, that's fine too. A handful of eateries mark the memories of longtime Lafayette, Louisiana residents: Antlers, Cedar Grocery Café, Olde Tyme Grocery, Toby's Oak Grove, and so on. When we were students, one place we enjoyed going to for coffee or a meal was Dwyers Cafe, renowned for its staff and its food. Indeed, last March, Stephen Marcantel with the Acadiana Advocate wrote an in-depth article. Through depression, oil bust, and COVID, Dwyers has been an anchor in downtown Lafayette. Well worth Googling to enjoy the whole thing. I relied on that for some background here. Walk down Jefferson Street in downtown Lafayette, Stephen Marcantel wrote, and you'll be greeted by an ever-expanding beige, brown, and blue mural. The painting is centered on Stanley and Mike Dwyer, garbed in toque blanc and chef jacket. It branches out into family members, longtime employees, and new owners, Brett and Craig Dwyer. Dwyer's Cafe, one of the longest-running restaurants in Lafayette, has become synonymous with downtown. Its roots stretch back to its days as Pop Stinson's Cafe. The place not only provided meals but wages. My aunt, who partly raised me, would get up before her classes teaching 4th grade and work a few hours as a cashier at Pop Stinson's decades ago, ringing out men and women themselves catching breakfast before work. According to the informative and well-written piece, Stanley Dwyer was generally knowledgeable before he ultimately began to work with Pop Stinson. Then he finally bought the business in the mid-60s, renaming it as we know it today, Dwyer's Cafe. Still in high school, son Mike started working with his father. Stanley Dwyer was raising his son to take over the business one day. Mike studied economics in college, then he, in his turn, bought the restaurant from his father in the mid-70s. And it moved on into a space that was once housed a shoe store and a barbershop combo, where it remains today. The restaurant business is a hard proposition, but the family was diligent, as by new generations and thousands of satisfied customers know. According to the Acadiana piece, Stanley continued working at the restaurant until he was 85, still wearing his signature white hat and coat. When the chef finally went to glory, Mike retired his own white hat and coat out of respect for his father. Time waits for neither man nor cook, and a decade or so ago Mike's sons, Brett and Craig, bought the restaurant, and since it was one of the first places we slid our butts into for a meal over the years, they have continued the tradition of good food and fine service. Today, Dwyer's welcomes the hungry with typical cafe fare, hamburgers and so on, and a steam table offering a plate lunch entree options. Choices noted daily on a wipe-off board. You can pretty much get roast pork or beef any day of the week, along with a variety of choices: smothered chicken, smothered pork chops, and smothered steak. And there's more exotic fare served every now and then: calf tongue or the stuffed bell pepper, eggplant dressing, and often seafood, shrimp stew, shrimp etouffee, fried catfish, seafood casserole. Dwyer's Cafe, 323 Jefferson Street, Lafayette, Louisiana, 327-235-9364. That's 327-235-9364.